Arrakis is so beautiful when the sun is low. Hello and welcome to my video. I am crossing the deep desert today on foot. As far as I know, nobody has done it before. I'll be starting at the shield wall and finishing in the eye section. So as you can see, I have mapped out my route ahead of time. And I even have my map ready to go. So this is the route I'm going to be taking. Everything on the left hand side of this green line until I get to I section. Once I get to I section, that's it. I've survived the trip across and that's my success. This is my little home base. I've got no suspensors, no Holtzman shield, 10 thumpers, which I actually need to equip to my inventory slots, so let's go ahead and add those in. Don't need another steel tent there. I've got my sword. Once I get to the other side, my friend will come and pick me up, and that'll be it. So I left my ornithopter behind and everything else. Let's get started. So this is going to be a long video. It's going to be mostly me just walking across the deep desert. Now the reason I decided to do this challenge was because I just created my new guild. Well, my first ever guild, because yeah, I'm still sort of playing through DUNE for the first time. I've had like a couple of accounts, but this is the one that's gotten the furthest. Instead of climbing down the cliff, I'm just going to go around, and once we get to that first island, so once we get to this first island, the real trip across the sand will start. And the reason I'm doing this is because my guild is called Shai Hoodlud's Ordained. If you want to pause the video, you can read the description of the guild. I thought it'd be a cool, I guess a rite of passage for myself and any guild leader. Now I have to be careful jumping off of high places. I am not currently wearing my suspensor, so I could accidentally kill myself, so let's not do that. Yeah. So a good rite of passage for myself and my guild leaders if they want to be a guild leader in the future. But if I'm to expect other people to cross the deep desert on foot, then I need to be the one to do it first. I had a look on YouTube. I don't think anybody's done this before. Why would you? You just fly across the deep desert on an ornithopter. There's really no point. But, you know, Sir Edmund Hillary didn't scale Mount Everest because, you know, there was something up there. He did it because he could. Now I do have Bindu Sprint. I have this like the knee attack, and I have Sugar Wire. I don't intend to use those abilities unless I really need to. I have no idea how those abilities impact worm threat. But yeah, I'm also going to put on my helmet. There we go. That's what this video is going to be. It's a lot of like watching watching my character run across sand. I'm going to turn auto run on so I don't have to stress out. Yeah, I should also like put my skills on, right? So Bindu Sprint, Sugar Wire, and knee strike. Okay. if I end up with a thing. Should probably turn off the chat as well. Show chat bubbles, show party messages, faction messages off. Oh. There we go. I was able to run and sort out my menu at the same time. So I kind of have to get all the way around here first. I'm hoping that running next to this cliff doesn't make the worm angry. The tricky part is going to be water. If I run out of water, then I could die. I probably could have brought more leader johns with me. They are Mark 6 leader johns, so they hold a lot of water. 20 litres worth. 2 of them. Just double check I'm not carrying anything that I shouldn't be carrying. No, it's all quest items because I'm so bad at completing quests. Deep desert hidden sector. No. So obviously it's best to travel at night time to conserve water and not be exposed to heat. But if I only travel during the night, then this trip will take twice as long. I've got my still tents in case of a sandstorm, thumpers in case of like angry worms. Now I don't think the thumper will take a worm off of me, so I have to use the worm. I have to use the thumper before the worm attacks me. I was doing some testing last night to see how I can get across the sand and whether or not that makes the worm angry. I mean, like how far across I can get. It's about 700 meters. So we only have to really worry about it once we get to like the big crossings, which will be, like, that's a pretty big crossing. That's a pretty big crossing. We can actually measure the crossings ahead of time as well. So the biggest crossing I did last night as part of a test was 900 meters. And 900, oh that's right, I don't have my suspensor. Oh, this is going to be so annoying. I've got sugar wire though. Aha! Easy. Here we go, the first big crossing of the day. Well, I mean, it's not big. That's what she said. Alright, so here we go. Oh, we're making the worm angry already. Go us. It is a little bit of a shame that I can't like hold down right click to do free view. I don't know if like... No, that's dash, don't do that. I don't think you have a free view when you're running around. I might be wrong. Would be nice to be able to look around while running. But I guess they just expect you to use WASD. So the equipment specifically that I'm using is the Talab soft step boots. I decided to take an Imperial steel suit with me for the extra armor value, just in case I get into a fight. And then I've got Chome steel suit stuff. So I've got some pretty good quality gear. If I get eaten, oh well, I guess I'll just have to make some more, but it's could happen. I have my binoculars so I can look around. It's going to be pretty hard to see where I'm going because the dunes are so tall, which is why I've pre-planned my route using my ornithopter, so I should be able to get across. That's the biggest gap, I think, and I was able to run across it, so... And that's the finishing location there in the I sector. And we're just about here at this next island. Excuse me. I think he's been following me. I didn't expect to see a whim so soon. That's okay. Alright. Maybe I'll just wait a little bit. Yep, that's Sandal, right? The worm came right up to the island and poked his head out. That's it's crazy. We want to go to this island next, which is just over there. That's a good point, actually. I think worm threat is cumulative, so even if you've been on an island for, well, even if you're on an island and then you go back onto the sand, the worm gets angry quicker because the worm remembers that you are nearby. I had forgotten about that little mechanic. I do remember the game dev saying that, yeah, if you tease the worm by jumping off and on the rocks, then it will pop out much quicker. For anybody interested in knowing, I'm playing on the Hyperion server, which is Oceania. So if there are any sort of Oceania peeps that want to join Shai Hulud's Ordained, I'm not currently taking applicants because I haven't actually built my guild base. I want to, well, I have a base and it's pretty cool. And it is fit for purpose for a guild, except for the fact that it can't fit a large ore refinery, which is a bit of a shame. So I want to rebuild my base before I start inviting people into my guild. But if you're on Hyperion and you want to hang out, you might see me around My character's name is Amari, that's A-M-A-R-I. And I have to give a big shout out to Nerdbird. So that map that I showed earlier, Nerdbird is a YouTuber. You might have seen their stuff. Every week they do a deep desert resource guide, so they map out the deep desert and they show you where all the resources are, and it is incredibly valuable. And it was their YouTube video that I used to get the map, so I will be putting that in the description of the video as well, the link to Nerdbird, so people can go and see that. Oh, that's a long distance, isn't it? Do we think the worm's going to attack me? I can hear him rumbling around every now and then. So now we want to go to that one. No, we're good. The worm's not attacking me yet. And now it's sunny. So I want to try and stay in the shade if I can help it. And this is going to be sort of one of the real tests of the deep desert, is heat stroke and water consumption. But I've got 2 Mark 6 litre johns, so that's a lot of water. That is a lot of water. How good is auto run though? Auto run is a fantastic feature. It's 436 meters, 448 meters. So we'll go to that one. Don't see any worm. Ah yes, I'm getting heat stroke now too. Should have thought about that before crossing the sand. I probably should have sat in the shade for a bit. But I've got Bindu, Sprint, Sugar Wire and Knee Strike, so for this short distance, if the worm pops up, I can possibly just run away. But like I said, I don't know how those abilities affect worm threat, so I'm not going to be using them normally unless I need to. Great. Let's get my heat stroke down again. Now there are bases, like other players' bases, between here and the deep desert. I do not know those people. They were there before I scouted my route. One of the possible threats to my journey is people collecting spice, because if there's a spice blow on my, on my pathway that I'm taking, and there's somebody collecting spice on that pathway, they might be making the whim angry. And if they make the whim angry, I might get attacked. I don't want to get attacked by an angry worm. Oh yeah, that's right, no suspensor. I gotta be careful. Gotta remember, I have no suspensor. No suspensor, no Holtzman shield. Leaving the Holtzman shield behind is also a tactical choice. It eliminates the possibility of accidentally activating my Holtzman shield while on the sand, and that would be a tragedy, that would. Right, how do I get down from here? I'll probably make that jump. Yep. I can. Just make sure that I'm at full health so that if I do take full damage, I might not die. So that is the next island. Yeah, it's only 190 meters. Speaking of full damage, I just walked straight off a cliff. So far I've only used still suit water, I haven't actually used my leader John. It tastes like sand. It's a good question. Does anyone know what still suit water tastes like? Because I mean we know what body temperature water tastes like, room temperature. Probably tastes pretty, I guess like pretty normal. It is like filtered water. I wonder if a person's, I should stop this, I should stop this debate in my head as to what still water tastes like. We don't need to think about it. What we should be thinking about is Dune Part 3. I believe it releases in like December. I didn't think they were going to make a part 3 because they were waiting for a good script. So that's 460 meters that way. 632. Alright, we'll take the 400 meter one first. But it seems like he found a good story to write for part 3. It's being advertised as like the thrilling conclusion or whatever, but I mean, I would like to see them make a part 4 and a part 5. I want to see like Leto the Second become the God Emperor worm, like a worm. That'd be cool. I want to see that in a movie. With the success of the first 2 films, you know, I'd be pretty hopeful that he does go ahead and make a part 4. Maybe he plans, instead of making a part 4, he might call it like, instead of calling the movie Dune, he might call the movie Leto and have it focused on Leto the Second. Just to sort of distance himself from the whole Dune franchise, because it's a story that's, I don't think, ever been put to film. And it's not necessarily Frank Herbert, it's Frank Herbert's son who continue the story afterwards. Just imagining somebody like flying over, over above with their ornithopter being like, who the hell is that? Why? Oh yeah, I lost a lot of water to heat stroke during that crossing. That's 700 meters away. That's going to be a long one. So 700 minus 400 would be like 300 meters. Do I use a thumper? That is the question. In the past I've said using the thumper at 600 meters would be the way to go. It's very, very early in the journey. We're only in... Oh, I'm on streamer mode so I can't see. But we're not even like a third of the way across. I do have 10 thumpers though. But the number of crossings compared to the number of thumpers is significant. 200 meters. I might be able to get close enough to the island that if the worm does attack I can just sprint across. There's my island. Oh, there's a fallen ship out there. Oh no! See the crashed pod? That could be making the worm angry. They don't like crash pods. Let's see if we can get a good view. It's right where I want to go. Because my next stop is there. Oh well, try it I guess. Fun drinking game for anybody playing at home. Take a shot every time you see auto run turn on. You might be dead by the end of the video, but it'll be fun. me use a thumper. Thumper was just there. I do wonder how long it takes for them to get attracted to the thumper. So we're heading pretty much exactly west. The islands, or I guess northwest. If I was to just go in a straight line north, I wouldn't be able to get across. Oh, there's a thopter here. Is it a testing station? Oh, it is a testing station. Very cool. Now I'm doing this on the PvE Deep Desert. I don't have time to deal with somebody coming over and ruining my challenge of walking across the entire Deep Desert. Just because they feel like it. So, that's not to say that somebody can't ruin it. If somebody were to find me and start following me without soft step boots on, then that would pretty much ruin it. I guess the thumpers would be quite handy in that respect. If somebody did try to do that, I could drop a thumper, and it seems like it takes quite a long time for the worm to attack the thumpers, so... There's resource nodes on the side of the building. Oh, that's right, no, it's... What is that? I'm thinking it's just copper, right? It is copper. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I haven't seen a sandstorm yet. Is it a Moadib? Oh, it is a Moadib! Hey, Moadib. Where's the island? Trust the process. There it is. Oh, yeah, okay. It does make the worm very angry when you do that. Okay. Well, do we think the worm has come over to say hello? Shy hello? I think that's the first player base. Maybe it's a new one. Oh my gosh, it's so much further to go. I estimated that this journey would take me an hour, and I think that's going to be a pretty accurate estimate. Such a big gap there. And that's a big gap too. Nearly 800 meters. What did I say? I can get about 600 meters, and then I want to put down a thumper. If I get down to like 350 meters, place a thumper. It's about halfway across. Oh, why is the worm threat so high? There's another mower deep. Oh, that's such a long way. Looks like we're okay. I mean, I was able to get across the 900 meter gap before. Alright, well my cat is being annoying, so I have to put it in another room. One moment. Okay, let's keep going. So we have to use the thumper on this crossing, I'm pretty sure. That's 1,000 meters. Well, 990 meters now. So I reckon once we get to like 450 meters remaining, we'll use a thumper. Can we hear the worm rumbling? Why would you attack me? You're supposed to attack the thumper. Like, he's over here. The thumper's like over here. Bruh. Do thumpers just not work? From a gameplay mechanic, I suspect that all the thumper does is make a worm attack it. It doesn't actually draw worm threat away or anything like that. Which is a bit sad. I would think that if you had a, you know... Just wanted to cool off my heat stroke. Oh, there goes a carrier thopter. I wonder if they saw me. I'm on the wrong island. Getting lost is also a possible hazard. My own stupidity having me go in the wrong direction. But I did plan ahead, so I shouldn't get lost. I should not. It's quite hot, isn't it? I can't drink from my still suit while I'm inside the still tube. That's interesting. I can drink from my water bottle though. I want to like talk in the deep desert chat and be like, I'm not running a deep desert testing station, I'm running the deep desert. But I don't want everybody to know that I'm doing this, just in case somebody comes over and decides to join me and ruin everything. At least the islands give me plenty of shade, so I can like reset my heat stroke before each crossing. Just imagining like an entire guild of 30 people all travelling across the deep desert on foot. It'd be cool if they added an ability to the game where you can hide in the sand. And you could like all go out to a spice patch and hide in the sand. Don't know what for. I mean, I suppose you could connect to the PvP desert and try it, but for PvE there's not a lot of reason to do that. Unless it was part of a mission. Maybe there's a story mission where you have to go hide in the sand. That'd be cool. You can't use your vehicle because the enemy detection... You know, the enemy will detect your vehicle. So you can't take your vehicle out into the desert. You have to go by foot. And the Fremen will teach you the way of walking without rhythm so you can travel across the sand without attracting the worm. I mean, it'd be a really great roleplay mission, but it would be terrible for actual gameplay engagement, probably. People probably don't want to spend, 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever just walking across open sand. However, if the payoff is good enough, so perhaps because Funcom has a 10-year plan, and if you're watching Funcom, hello, the mission idea I have in my head is the reward for this mission could be that you get to ride on a worm. I don't know how you guys would code that into the game. One way or another you end up getting to ride a worm. Maybe you have to take it and attack a Sardaukar garrison and blow up the garrison by driving the worm into it. Oh, we've got a big crossing coming up. So it'll be a Fremen mission, because at some point we find the Fremen, I'm sure of it. And they start off by teaching you... Oh, there's a worm out there. Okay. You're in the sector that I'm going to. Are you attacking spice, or are you attacking... Because what sector is that? Oh, I don't know, because my map is hidden, because I'm in streamer mode. I have a suspicion there's a large spice field out there, and maybe people are making the worm a little angry. Ah, there's a Thopter. Just a regular spice blow, I think. This is what I was worried about. People making the worm angry by harvesting spice, and then the worm being angry at me. What's the distance between this one and that one? Oh, okay. 1,000 meters. He's just landed his ornithopter. So I have like 30 seconds before the worm gets angry. Okay. Well, I still have Bindu Sprint, Sugar Wire, and Knee Attack. If the worm is attacking that person harvesting the spice, then they won't be attacking me. But I won't be able to tell the difference between who the worm is attacking, whether they're attacking them or attacking me. I probably should have waited until he finished harvesting spice. He or she. They, until they stopped harvesting spice. And we've established that thumpers really don't work. Maybe I should drop a thumper anyway. We know that the thumpers take quite a long time to actually engage the worm. Fuck it, I'll drop a thumper. I wasn't sprinting. Gosh, that's awkward. Oh, I can't see the island. It's over that ridge. Oh my gosh, I'm so far out, so far away. I have level 2 Bindu Sprint. So if the worm attacks me, then I'll sprint the rest of the way. I'm almost there, like 300 meters is pretty good. It's also, they were harvesting in a different sector, which I'm now in this new sector. And I think there's one worm per sector, I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, so back to my mission idea for Funcom. It would be some kind of deep desert mission. Obviously there's not a lot of islands around, so maybe you have to go to it via the overmap, like a different part of the deep desert. Kind of like how you load into... where are you? You're over there. Oh, you're attacking the spice harvesting person. Excellent. Not me. Now I believe I'm supposed to go north here, and then west. Not east. Oh yep, there's the Thopter. Okay, they're going back down to start harvesting. I'll give them a few seconds. So they should be collecting worm threat now, so they'll have more worm threat than me. Hopefully that's how it works. I don't know if it does work that way. So yeah, load into a different part of the deep desert that's mostly sand, so you've got lots of space to ride on a sandworm. But it also means you can't really go anywhere. Well, you're not allowed to use vehicles on this mission for some kind of story reason. And then you get taught the way of walking without rhythm. You go out into a certain place in the dunes, and once you get there, you get to ride on a worm somehow. You probably have to like place a thumper. Obviously one of the Fremen gives you everything you need in case you didn't bring a thumper with you. That's probably one of the most annoying things about one of the recent missions, is like, if you loaded into the mission without a resource scanner, it became really, really difficult to complete the mission. I don't think it was impossible, but I couldn't, like personally, I couldn't find the item I had to find without the scanner. Okay. Jeez. Yeah, they give you everything you need. And then after that mission you have unlocked the ability to walk without rhythm. So you can use it in the deep desert or in Haga Basin. Okay, I'm threatening the worm now. I've also left the sector with the person who's harvesting spice. I could change things. Yeah, the other idea, I've had some ideas for Dune, something to talk about I guess while I walk across the sand. I would really love to see a utility building added to the game. So I'm a big fan of Dune 2000, which is the, like, not the original RTS, but it's one of the very early RTS versions of Dune. And the utility building I want to see added is a spaceport. So you would build this big, it would be a massive structure, kind of similar in scale to like the big Atreides angular building blocks and the like big archways. So it's I'm imagining like 4 times as wide as the advanced vehicle fabricator, and it's basically a big landing pad, and it comes with a little ship that lands on the landing pad. You can't drive the ship. The closest example I have would be the hub from Satisfactory. So you have this ship that can travel up and down from your spaceport, and what it does is that little ship travels up to the Highliner. And so what having this utility building allows you to do is sell spice directly to the Spacing Guild, because at the moment I think we can only sell spice to players, which is fine. People like to buy spice, and at the moment it's selling for something like 50,000 Solari per one spice, which is a lot. And I mean, I could probably make quite a bit of money by harvesting spice and selling it. I haven't built the sandcrawler yet. Okay, this is a long... Ooh. That is a big distance. That might be the biggest distance to cross out of all of them. The thumpers don't work. The thumpers don't save us. As far as I know, the thumpers don't save us. Unless your timing is perfect, right? And it attacks the thumper instead of you. The timing would have to be perfect, though. And like, it's actually more. It's actually more than that, is it? It's actually more like, what is that? 1,207. Well, let's try it anyway. And I'll just have to use my Bindu Sprint, my sugar wire, and my knee strike. So yeah, with the spaceport you can sell spice directly to the Spacing Guild, which then unlocks a new not new faction, a like Swordmaster, Bene Gesserit, Mentat, those things. Can't quite remember what they're called. Skills, I guess? You are skillful in these things. A skill tree, that's what it would be called. The space blow. And the new skill tree is Navigator. I'm not entirely sure what Navigators would allow you to do. But I had actually written a forum post on Steam about this idea, and one person was asking, thought that maybe it'd be cool to have a capital ship that you could fly. So if we could build a ship that has a fold space engine in it, then having enough skills in Navigator would be necessary to be able to fold space. I thought it'd be really cool for roleplay purposes to have like a Navigator set of armor, where you have essentially a fish tank on your head, because we know that the Navigators inhale vaporized spice just all the time. They need to be constantly inhaling spice knowledge. That was a short animation. Oh dear. Well, that is unfortunate. What could I have done differently? I suppose I could have placed a thumper. That was a short animation as well, so he didn't do a long animation. If he'd done a long animation, maybe I could have gotten across. I've lost my steel suit and my steel tents and my thumpers, and my leader johns, so I'm gonna have to like rebuild my stuff. There we go. That's it. I guess this attempt has been stopped. And what time is it? 2 PM during the day. So I'm probably just going to call it. Good thing I have this little base here to like help me out. I will try again. I'm absolutely going to try again. I think the deep desert might... Oh no, I'll try again tomorrow. Yeah, I'll try again tomorrow. Thank you for watching. I guess this is now part 1, and I'll see you all in part 2.